Hello and welcome back to Crew Call with the Scooters. We are back season 2 and I am so excited to welcome my very good friend Sam, who works for an incredible organization called empowerHer, and she's going to give us a little information on the organization and what they do. But Sam, thank you so much for being part of this.
I'm so excited to be here. Thanks so much for including me.
Absolutely.
I feel honored.
We are the honored ones. Jenny is not here today. She says hi. So it's just one scooter you have today, but she gives her best. And we are super happy to have you here. So why don't you tell us your role, first of all, and your position there, and then we'll go into it a little more.
Yes. So I work at empowerHer, like Courtney had said. And empowerHer is a nonprofit organization that serves young girls and women who have suffered the loss of their mothers. So our mission is to empower, support, and connect girls and young women who have experienced the loss of their mothers. So I am the Programs and Advancement Officer for empowerHer. I actually just got hired on full-time about 6 weeks ago. I previously volunteered for them for 7 years since it was founded in 2013.
Wow. And how did you get involved? How did you find the organization? Tell us a little bit.
I'll give you the whole spiel. Yes. Exactly. The organization was founded in 2013 by a woman named Kara Belvin. Kara lost her mom, Kit, of breast cancer whenever she was 9 years old. And she always says that she was, lucky to have the aunts in her life and, her mom's friends and the support system and her family to help her and her older brother out. But she never really talked about the loss of her mother. She didn't know any other girls her age that had lost their mothers. So I met Kara about 9 years ago when I moved to Massachusetts at a hot yoga class. And I started watching her kids, and then we somehow in conversation both found out that both of us had lost our mothers, because I too lost my mom when I was 17, about a week before I went to college. She died from complications of multiple sclerosis. So whenever I met Kara and saw that she had also lost her mom, it's one of those things where it's like almost an instant connection with someone, because it's like, oh, I've been dying to get to know someone else who has also lost their mom at a young age. So from there, Kara just kind of had always wanted to do something more. She wanted to be able to bring support to young girls. It's non-therapeutic. We don't have therapists, around the corner or have therapy sessions. It's more about building community and showing these girls that they're not alone in their alone in their grief, and that it's survivable. So she sat around her dining room table. I was a part of those discussions. There's a lot of other strong women in Situate, Massachusetts, which is on the South Shore of Boston, about 30 miles south of Boston, talking about what we can do. And she formed the 501c3 empowerHer. So it's been around for 7 years. I got involved because I just, I found out Kara lost her mom, and I said, sign me up. I'll volunteer and help in any way I can. And so our first kind of flagship event is the Mother's Day retreat, where we would bring girls in the Boston area, because it was only in Massachusetts when it first started. And we'd bring them to a hotel in downtown Boston, do skincare, makeup, make it light and fun. There's still conversations around grief, but grief wasn't the central topic. Right. But it gave an opportunity for all these girls to meet other girls that have also lost their moms. And then all of our chaperones too had lost their moms. So you have adult women in your life as well. I feel like I'm talking forever and ever, so cut me off.
No, I can listen to it all day. I think first of all, it's an incredible organization, and it's so needed, and what you are doing and what Kara is doing is incredible work. So thank you for that. Now, I was going to ask, are all the women, or I'm guessing, is it youth? Is it up to 18, and then at 18 you can be a mentor, or is that how it works?
So a little bit. So up to age 24. Okay. So when it first started, it was only in Massachusetts, and it was only for girls up to age 18. But something that we realized is that those between 18 to 24-year-olds, that's such a critical age. And me being around that age whenever I lost my mom, I know going into college, like it would have been, really beneficial to have a group of other girls and women to be able to have support from. So we do serve girls up to age 24, and then at age 25, they can become a mentor. So 25 years old older can be mentors. And again, so I'm going to back up just a minute.
Yep.
So it used to just be in Massachusetts, and then it expanded to New England area. So Connecticut, you know, all of New Hampshire, Vermont, New England area. And then in January, they opened their Southern California chapter.
Oh, wow.
And then COVID hit. So COVID hit and it really kind of stopped because we did in-person events and in-person mentoring. So a mentor program to match women. And prior to COVID happening, it was only, you could only be, if you were motherless, that's how you could be, or if you were motherless or not, you could be a mentor. It didn't matter either way, as long as you were, you know, a strong woman and you wanted to provide mentorship to young girls, you could. But now we have expanded nationally. So I actually just made a mentor match with a woman in Florida and a girl in Texas. Wow. So they've been matched, and it's more so a virtual kind of mentorship, texting, FaceTiming, all of that. But now our requirement is you do have to have mother loss yourself if you want to become a mentor.
I think that makes sense. And how does that match process work? I know that's like a newer program, like you said, especially with COVID, everyone's had to adjust. And I want to go into a little more about how you have adjusted now. But when you look at the match, do you look for like similarities in personality, similarities in when they lost their mom, or the family upbringing? How does that work?
Yeah, there's a whole lot of variables that we consider in the matching process. So the process kind of is a girl enrolls, or maybe an aunt or a grandma or a dad enrolls the girl, because maybe the girl doesn't know about us or isn't comfortable doing it herself. She enrolls. She'll get a call from one of our legacy women who is between the ages of 19 and 24. So they're enrolled girls, but they take on a little bit more responsibility being older. Welcome them to empowerHer. Find out if they want to have a mentor or if they just want to be on our list for events that we have upcoming. And if they want a mentor, then we look at our database of mentors, which the mentors apply, and it's a form right on our website. You can apply to become a mentor. We look that over. We have an interview with the prospective mentor, figure out if they're a good fit or not, and then we take a look at both the girls and the mentors. And we do have a screening process of background checks, driving records, all of that kind of good stuff too, just to make sure that that they are in compliance, and because we are dealing with youth. So, so yeah, we take a look at, you know, when their mom died, when their mom passed, what kind of loss? Was it cancer? Was it MS? Was it, you know, a tragic accident that happened? And we look at preferences of both. So maybe the mentor wants to work with younger girls. Maybe they want the elementary age, or maybe they want the legacy, the 19 to 24. Same thing with the mentee and their family. So the girl and her family want someone, they might want a motherly type figure, you know, and have them between like 30 and 50 years old. Or maybe it's someone that's a little bit younger that they can help out with fashion, or, you know, be there, that maybe be able to more relatable to them in a different way depending on their age. And then we also take geographic location into consideration. So it used to be the focal point because we were matching in person. We wanted you to be within 20-mile radius of each other because you were meeting once a month or whatever it was. But now that we've moved to more of a virtual platform, we've kind of loosened the reins a little bit on our requirements. It's no longer has to be like a year commitment with 5 hours a month. We meet the girl where she's at. So if she might want to talk to you every day for a month and then not talk to you again for another 3 months. And it's really based on what they want, but the preferences match up. But geographical location though, the girls still might want to meet up with their mentor at some point. So you know, we do take that in consideration, and that is a preference that a girl could check, or a dad could check and say, we would like to be within close proximity of, you know, the mentor, or it doesn't matter. So we do take that into consideration, but it's not really a focal point anymore. But yeah, so there's a lot of different stuff, personality types, the introverted, extroverted, do they like to play soccer, do they like to paint, like it's all the interests. We take a look at all of it.
Well, you brought up a good point too. So I have like a million questions now that I'm thinking about it. But like, for the girls to get into the programs, you mentioned the dad. So is it something that the dad is usually bringing up to his daughter, or a family member that's bringing up, or now is it well known that amongst like community members or girls who are in the organization, like how do you see it growing, first of all, and have you seen a change now that it is more virtual?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what we're trying to figure out right now, right? Is how do we, because as someone who has, and grief surrounds all of us, right? We've all experienced some sort of grief, but you don't really self-identify. I'm not going to come out and say, hi, my name is Sam, and I lost my mom when I was 17. I'm not going to come out and do that, and a lot of girls aren't going to. So it's usually, the aunt or the grandma or mom's best friend that finds us on Instagram or Facebook and either tells the dad about it or refers the girl themselves. So sometimes when people, and guidance counselors have referred girls to us before too, we always contact that referral source. So if it's not the girl or the dad, we want to make sure that the referral source has talked to dad or the girl, so we're not springing it upon them. Because a lot of times too, girls are like iffy, they're like, I don't know if I want to be a part of this, or because they don't really know what we're about. And that's, why we're trying to expand with having the legacy, do a little welcome call with them and introduce them to us. But yeah, that's usually how people find us, is they've seen something on our social media or they've heard word of mouth. So now we're trying to come up with a better marketing strategy on how, since we are national now, to get our name, more out there and more well known within the communities.
Well, that makes sense. And then I'm sure with the girls themselves, so I come on to this program and I have my mentor, which is great, but then do they connect with the other girls, going through this, and can they, do something together? Are there chats now that they can kind of go in together? How does that work?
Absolutely. So we actually have a mentor-mentee pair right now that they sent us a nice little picture. They went out for a little ice cream date a couple weeks ago. And so there's two mentors and two mentees that have become like really good buddies through this program. They wouldn't have known each other otherwise. So we do have, for our mentors, like close Facebook groups and that kind of thing. We're starting an Instagram. They were calling For the Girls. So it's going to be just for our enrolled girls, that they can get to know each other a little bit better too. But yeah, we're always encouraging, mentees and mentors, especially when it's virtual too. Like, you have a little game night, you could play or have a Netflix watch party with each other or whatever, and chat. And again, creating more community, which is what one of our goals is.
That's great. And how with COVID, you were having what events? You said you're having the Mother's Day retreat. How many other in-person events were you having throughout the year?
Yeah, so we were having, before COVID, 6 events a year. So pretty much every other month there was something going on. So maybe a cooking class or apple picking or, a Christmas or holiday kind of event or party. So that's what the model was 6 events a year, including the Mother's Day retreat. Well, COVID happens and we didn't get to do our Mother's Day retreat in person. We didn't get to have 150 girls in Boston, which was really, especially for those of us who have been around since the beginning, was really kind of disheartening. Like, oh, how can we not have this? But our founder is resilient and she's very creative, and she said, we're going to go virtual with it. We've never done anything. We don't know what the playbook is for this, but we're going to go for it because we want to make sure that we still are serving our girls and give them something to look forward to on Mother's Day and be a part of our group. So, so now we started doing events about once or twice a month, having different events virtually. So girls could join on Zoom to join us for the event. And some of our events are hybrids. We have a couple of girls in person, of course, with COVID restrictions, 6 feet apart, masks on, all of that. So we haven't done too many of those, but where girls can join in person, and then the big screen with Zoom with everyone else joining, so they can talk to each other and all of that. So that's again something we're trying to figure out too, of what we're going to do. But really, COVID has kind of gave us the kick in the butt that we needed to go nationally. It opened the door for us to be able to do that, because we would have waited another couple of years.
And is that the goal, to be in all 50 states eventually, like to have girls and mentors in all 50 states?
Internationally too. I mean, I just had a interview with a woman from Nigeria who wants to be a mentor. So, you know, really trying to navigate expansion and where we're expanding. So getting to know, you know, both internationally and nationally, to have girls and mentors everywhere.
Now, would you ever want, and this might be something that hasn't been thought about, but would you ever want to add the therapy part of it to the organization, or is it more just of the community base, or is that something that's like not decided yet on?
You know, I think Kara's pretty passionate about this. She was she has a background in school psychology, and that's what she has her master's in. And you know, there's bereavement camps all over the place. You know, there a lot of the girls that come to us also go to a camp during the summer for bereavement, for whatever, lost parents or whatever it is. And she is pretty passionate about non-therapeutic. We do have our director of operations is a therapist, and so we do have, you know, clinicians at our fingertips for like best practice advice and in crisis situations.
Absolutely.
But it's not again, not the focal point. It's supposed to be non-therapeutic, fun, light, creating community, seeing like-minded people around you.
I think that's great. And what's like, you know, if I see this, like, it's such a great organization, is it something that, like, you know, we could, you know, people could donate to help? Obviously they could sign up to be a mentor if they, you know, lost their mom, but if someone else saw this and was like, I know someone, I can refer them, but I want to just help out this organization, what is the best way to do that?
Yeah, so I mean, you can, so our website is www.empowerHer.org. But the ways to get involved is you can donate. You can donate if you want to. We have a donate button on our website. You become a mentor and get involved. You can become a ambassador, which we're calling it's Grow With Us. So we're looking for ambassadors that are really leaders in their communities around the country that want to help us with different, you know, once we're able to get back in person events, fundraisers, all of that kind of stuff. We have a fun little initiative called Pop-Up Party, where Courtney, you could have a little party at your house and have a game night, and everyone gives $20, you know, but all the proceeds go to Empower Her. We have women all over the country, well, pre-COVID, who are doing that and spreading the word, spreading awareness about us, but also, you know, making donations and fundraising for us as well. But yeah, so that there's a, you know, in-kind donations, there's a bunch of different ways to get involved.
Good. Well, like I said, we love you, Sam. You are incredible. You've always done incredible work. You have the biggest heart. So thank you for that. And I know you're going to do even more with the organization. So
thanks, Courtney.
Yeah. And thank you for being part of this. It was so good seeing you. And we'll put the link in here. So we'll share the website.
Awesome.
So,
But yeah. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you. Loved having you. Okay.
All right. Bye.